I'm a 21-year-old in my 5th year of working at a company. At this age, being in my 5th year. As you might guess, this means that I started working right after middle school. Often, people look at someone like me and say it's a shame I couldn't even go to high school. Certainly, it's rare to find middle school graduates these days, and I understand that people see me that way. But I've never felt sorry for myself. After all, as the eldest son with a sickly mother and 2 younger brothers, we've always been poor, so I never expected to go to high school from the start. But I thought that was just how things were, and even though we were poor, we were a close-knit family, and I found happiness in that. So, deciding to work after graduating middle school wasn't something anyone told me to do. It was a path I chose for myself, as a matter of course. But my mom, looking sorry, used to say, "Jacob, you don't have to worry about me. You can go to high school. I'll find a way to afford the tuition." But I always said this. "What are you talking about? I just want to start working early. Besides, not everyone has to follow the same path in life, and it's not a time when education is everything. It's fine not to go to high school. I want to try my best on the path I've chosen for myself. It's just that my crossroads came earlier than others." Now, looking back, I think it was quite mature for a 9th grader to say such things. But it wasn't just lip service to comfort my mother. I believe it was the result of my best thinking about how to stay positive and live well with my family, choosing a somewhat unique life path of working after middle school. I can make life brighter by staying positive, no matter the situation. Holding on to that hope, I started working at 15. But my life as a working adult turned out to be different than I expected. I got a job at an advertising agency. When people hear working after middle school, they might imagine physically demanding jobs, but honestly, I wasn't very confident in my physical strength or stamina, so I was desperately looking for a desk job and went to many interviews. I was relieved that this company offered me office work as I hoped, but it turned out my job was apparently the lowest in the company. Officially called general affairs, my tasks were only menial, like making tea, copying, cleaning, and washing dishes, with no involvement in advertising work. But I was a middle school graduate with no part-time job experience. Even the youngest person was over 10 years older than me, clearly marking me as the absolute bottom of the hierarchy. So, of course, I had no complaints about these tasks. It was my first time earning money, and I was somewhat happy just with that. But I started to feel uneasy about my job about a month after I started working. It was around the time I received my first paycheck. I was so happy to see the word salary deposited into my bank account for the first time that I went to work feeling thrilled. Though my main tasks were still making tea and cleaning, I strongly felt that I was contributing to someone and that it was reflected in the form of money. "Jacob, you seem to be in a good mood." The one who said this was Emma, a female senior colleague. She's the mood maker of the company, always at the center of everyone's circle. "Yes, I'm happy because I received my first paycheck." When I shared my feelings with a silly, relaxed smile, Emma said, "That's great. Your hard work is noticed by everyone, so keep it up." "Yes, thank you very much." I had never been praised out loud like that, so I became even happier. Although I hadn't really bonded with my colleagues due to the age difference, that moment made me feel motivated to keep working hard to gain their recognition. Then, could you quickly make copies of this? Also, could you go to the stationery store to buy these, and while you're at it, stop by the convenience store? As I was taking notes on the tasks Emmy asked me to do, other employees also started making requests. Yes, I am useful to everyone. I'm doing my job as a working adult, I thought, feeling over the moon. But, still young and naive, I was completely oblivious to my superior's true feelings. When 6 p.m. rolled around, as usual, I was told I could leave. Eager to buy a cake for my family, with my first paycheck, I accidentally left my phone on the desk and went back to the office after leaving. But the moment I opened the door, I felt I shouldn't have, because they were gossiping about me inside. Jacob, today was just too funny. I had to try so hard not to laugh. It was Emma who said that. I couldn't recall doing anything funny, so I was anxious and confused about what they meant. But the other employees seemed to understand right away, nodding in agreement. Even though I knew eavesdropping was wrong, I couldn't resist my curiosity about the continuation of their conversation and couldn't bring myself to move. Then, I heard a series of shocking words that hit me hard. Showing off about tasks anyone can do. Do you have any other work I can do? Haha. As if we'd trust someone like you with any real work. A worthless middle school dropout who ran away from studying. Exactly. And to be so happy about such a pathetic first paycheck. Unbelievable. Yeah, he's just a kid after all. Seriously, for only doing menial tasks, he should be thankful he's getting paid at all. It's honestly like babysitting a child. He's practically a nuisance. The superiors, who always smiled kindly, were now laughing as they spoke these words. Indeed, my job was mostly menial and might not be considered prestigious. But I thought I was doing my best and was somewhat helpful. However, it was all just my misconception. To think that I was not only unnecessary but even considered a nuisance, I was embarrassed about my own self-delusion. But Emma, didn't you say kind words to Jacob just earlier? One of the superiors mentioned, and I too noticed the discrepancy. Indeed, just a moment ago, Emma had said with a smile, "Everyone understands Jacob's hard work." I found it hard to believe she was now talking behind my back. But Emma crushed my faint hope instantly. Yeah, it's just more convenient to flatter him, right? He's useful for running errands at least. Scary, haha. With that one line from Emma, I realized I had been misunderstanding my role in the company the whole time. I thought I was at least somewhat relied upon, even for small things, that I was needed in this company. But I was just a hindrance, a convenient errand boy. Everyone was just keeping me happy for their convenience. Feeling betrayed by what I believed and my own powerlessness, my mind went blank, and I stumbled backward. Accidentally, my foot hit the door, causing a loud noise. Of course, everyone inside noticed the noise. They all seemed to realize my pale-faced presence. Yet, they just exchanged glances and chuckled without showing any signs of disturbance. Seeing this, I understood that to my superiors, my existence was so insignificant that it didn't even warrant an explanation. I just forgot my phone. I said only that, grabbed my phone from my desk, and left the company quickly. I wish this were just a bad dream, I thought, but in reality, my nightmare-like days were just beginning. The next day, when I went to the office, the attitude of my superiors towards me had clearly changed. "Jacob, make copies of this, within 10 minutes. I spilled some coffee earlier. Wipe it up, will you? It's almost lunchtime. Go buy some lunches." The number of menial tasks they asked of me increased astonishingly, and their tone lacked a pretense of kindness from before. It seemed that since my superiors' true feelings had inadvertently been revealed to me, they saw no need for pretenses anymore. Moreover, what used to be a standard end-of-day routine turned into 5 or 6 hours of overtime due to the excessive amount of menial tasks. I was also ordered to arrive early in the morning to clean, and harsh words were thrown at me. The physical and mental toll was immense, and I thought of quitting many times. But what kept me going was my supportive family and the resolve of my younger self to live positively. Unusually for a guy, I have a habit of keeping a diary, and whenever I felt like giving up, I'd look back at my words from when I first joined the company. No matter the situation, staying positive will brighten your life. Back then, I might have been able to say such things because I didn't know what real hardship was. But still, I wanted to believe in that small glimmer of hope to change my future. Just being a high school dropout is already a handicap for me, so if I quit my job in just a month or so, finding another job will become even more difficult. Even at 15, I was aware of that much. So, I had no choice but to do my best at my current workplace. I had heard that the more you react in these situations, the more people tend to enjoy it and escalate things. So I kept smiling and responding as usual, no matter how I was treated. No matter how much overtime I had to do, I never complained and just got through it with a brave face. By doing so, it seemed like the intentional harassment gradually decreased. However, I still received snarky comments and things were still awkward with my boss. Yet, I definitely felt that by always looking forward and not giving up, I was able to change my situation. Then one day, after several years of this, I heard that the company I worked for was going to be merged with another company, and there would soon be a social gathering with the new executives, including the new president. But I had never been invited to any kind of company drinking party before, and I didn't expect to be invited this time either, or so I thought. Then, Emma came over to me and said, "Are you coming, Jacob?" I was genuinely surprised. Is that okay? It seemed I was still naively hoping to get along better with my superiors. "Come on, Jacob, you're 21 now." I was even more surprised by Emma's words. I had thought I wasn't invited because my superiors disliked me. But was it really just because I was underage? If that's the case, maybe I can finally interact with them on equal terms. For a moment, I allowed myself to harbor this faint hope, unaware that I would be betrayed just seconds later. "Just kidding. With your pathetic salary, unchanged since your first paycheck, you can afford it, can you? Haha." Emma laughed as she showed me her cell phone screen. It displayed a homepage for what seemed to be a fancy Japanese restaurant, apparently costing over $100 per person. Honestly, considering how my modest salary was supporting my household, it was an amount I couldn't easily afford. Indeed, as Emma said, being ridiculed was frustrating. "See, you can participate, right?" I was infuriated by her attitude, asking even though she knew the answer. "I won't go," but all I could do was assert I won't go, instead of I can go. Even though I knew it was just a small defiance and I'd still be laughed at. I knew it, but I couldn't help feeling miserable that I still couldn't stand up to my superiors, even after all these years. But I still chose to keep looking forward. Because this was the path I had chosen. Even if there were few choices, I had to do my best on the path I had chosen. On the day of the party, my superiors left the office a bit more dressed up and looking happy. I finished up the remaining menial tasks and was about to leave the office 2 hours later than everyone else. That's when the office phone rang. It was Emma saying, "President Green is calling for you, so come to that place right now." As she hung up, Emma muttered with a sigh, "Ugh, why someone like you?" But honestly, I felt the same way. I had heard rumors about the new president. A capable executive who started a company in his 20s and grew it significantly in just 2 years. Moreover, he was rumored to be handsome and stylish among the employees. I couldn't fathom why President Green would call for someone like me. Confused, I arrived at the designated upscale restaurant and was met by Emma, who warned me, "Don't get cocky just because you were pitied and invited." He just felt sorry for the poor employee who couldn't afford to come. Then she led me to President Green. President Green, true to the rumors, was so young and handsome that it was hard to believe he was a president. He had an aura so radiant it seemed almost unreal for a fellow human. "I'm sorry for calling you so suddenly," President Green said, looking intently at my face. "Yes, what can I do for you?" I was a bit nervous as I had never been scrutinized like this before. Then, President Green asked, "You're Jacob, right?" mentioning my name. Yes, that's right, but I had just arrived, so I hadn't introduced myself yet. I wondered if someone had told him about me beforehand. But Emma and the other superiors also looked surprised, so it seemed that wasn't the case. Why do President Green know my name? I wondered desperately. Then he said something totally unexpected. "Do you remember? We met when you were in your first year of middle school." That I had no recollection of meeting President Green back in my first year of middle school. "Sorry, I don't remember," I admitted honestly. Then, President Green began to recount the time we supposedly met. "I was originally studying to become a teacher at a university. I met you during my teaching practice." Really? The fact that the current president of a company had been studying to be a teacher years ago was a surprise to me and my superiors. At the same time, I remembered that a student teacher had come to my class when I was in the first year of middle school. His name was Mr. Green. When I asked, remembering, President Green nodded. In the winter of my first year in middle school, I began to think about my future for the first time. It was when I realized I wouldn't be able to go to high school during a career survey. Though I had a hunch, I hesitated to submit a different survey form from everyone else and kept saying I forgot it for weeks. It was Mr. Green who noticed my discomfort. "I know what I should write here, but I'm scared to be different from everyone else." Perhaps because he was neither a parent nor my regular teacher, I was able to express my true feelings. And Mr. Green said to me, "I see. Yeah, it's scary. You've been walking the same path as everyone else in elementary school. But life, even though it seems similar, everyone walks a different path, right? Look, everyone has different parents, strengths, weaknesses, and even their club activities are different. In fact, none of my classmates from middle school are the same now. No one walks the same path. So, there's no need to be scared. You're just facing your crossroads a bit earlier than others. It might not be as scary as you think." Those words resonated deeply with me at the time and removed all the anxiety I had about choosing to work after middle school. It's thanks to him that I've been able to live positively despite my tough circumstances. Thank you so much for that time. As I quickly expressed my gratitude, President Green said something unexpected. "No, I should be the one thanking you. I was just following the path laid out for me, as both my parents were teachers. But seeing you, so young, confronting your life choices, made me question if I was really doing what I wanted. That realization led me to my true calling, and to where I am now. Your presence allowed me to find the path I should truly follow. Thank you, really." President Green said this. The executives around us, including Emma, were all visibly shocked. If it weren't for Mr. Green's words back then, I think my spirit would have been broken by now. Thinking about it, that encounter was truly significant for me. It was incredibly moving to know that he also cherished our meeting. "Jacob, the path you chose and the path I chose have intersected. I'm truly happy about that. Let's work hard together from now on." With that, President Green and I shook hands, and from the next month, my work environment completely changed. President Green, with his background in education, paid special attention to preventing bullying among subordinates. Thanks to his approach, teamwork improved rapidly, and I, who had been stuck doing menial tasks for nearly 5 years, was finally accepted as a member of the team. And by working together towards the same goal, they probably developed a sense of camaraderie toward me, and before I knew it, none of them had any sarcasm towards me anymore. Of course, Emma too. I was amazed at how much difference a great leader could make. Now, I truly find fulfillment in my work and enjoy every day. It's all thanks to President Green's help, twice. I'm truly glad that I never gave up and always looked forward. I'll keep believing in the path I've chosen, And one day, I hope to become someone like President Green.